The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Our guest today will be the Wolfman himself, Shane Smolian. He'll be on at 9:30. Tomorrow I will be setting in for Tom O'Brien at 3 o'clock, and my guest will be Stan Harley. He's got some new material that he'll be chiming in with us, and then we're going to have Stan on again on the 12th of August, which is one of his key dates that he brought to our attention. So we need to pay, very close attention to that date, 12th of August. Very, very important. Okay, now let's move on here and take a look at some of these markets. You can see here the beautiful patterns that we're seeing in the FTSE and the DAX. I mean, these are, you can see the head and shoulders pattern in the FTSE. The DAX is just following along with the, beautiful retracement numbers. Folks, these numbers work, but they don't work all the time, and that's the key thing, to look about. Now, let's take a look here about open interest. We had a really important question from one of our listeners, and let's get up and try to help them if we can. This is the chart. All you have to do to get there, folks, is you go to www.cme.com, and then you click on where it says Daily Equity Volume and Open Interest. And then all you have to do is to scroll down the page till you reach what you want to see, and you'll be able to find what you're looking at. You'll notice Bitcoin futures. We now have a open interest of 12,000, folks. That's been a huge increase in open interest recently. When it first came out, the first year, I think it averaged around 2,500, and we're 5 times that right now. We've had a drop in open interest recently here, probably switching from the to the September contract, but I'm not sure of that because I don't trade it. But this is how you get to it. And you notice up at the top here, this is looking at equities. You see how the equities is darkened out? Now, if you wanted to go to gold, you just go over and you click on the metals, and it'll give you all the metals. And if you wanted to see any particular one, all you have to do is to click on that, and it'll give you all the open interest of all the contracts. It'll be listed right there. And if you can't find it after that, you give me a call, and I will make a video for you to show you how to do it. That'll be the simplest way to do it if you really need that. But it's important when we're making new highs like we're making in gold, folks. I mean, we've had a monster move here in gold, $50 yesterday, and I think pretty close to $35 a day. We've moved almost $100 an ounce in just very, very short order. Silver got above $27. That's a really good. And I want to make an announcement here. I made a mistake yesterday when I was talking about the U.S. Silver rounds. Those silver rounds are actually done by private companies. The silver contracts that the government makes, they're the same, except one is made by the U.S. government, the other is made by private mints. Most dealers know exactly what they are. They're real easy to find out whether they're real or not. All you have to do is tap one coin to another, and you can hear the ring itself. But it's quite simple. But the cost of these for entering is now increased a lot. I talked about yesterday about $1. That's what it was when it was down around $14. Now it's doubled almost at 27. So it's around $2 to $4 is the spread. I wouldn't pay more than $2 if you're going to buy it, but I'm really I don't like to pay extra if I don't have to. So that's a main thing to pay attention to. But, folks, when you look at this long-term chart on silver, there is just absolutely no way that you can be bearish on this. Something has happened here in this silver market. This is where we were Friday. Let's just get this up here, and you'll see now we went above 27, folks. That's above the 61% retracement from 2013. So, we're far, far in the new high ground in the gold. The old high was 1931, and here we are at 20, we hit 2,060 per ounce in the gold. And if Bitcoin can go to 19,000, gold could go to 3,500. So I don't know where the top is in here. I watch for shorter term patterns. We had a nice pattern yesterday up there at that 2027 level. It backed off about $11 an ounce, and in a matter of about 5 minutes, it was trading above 27.30, and away it went. That was 2027. It went to 2030 and then took off and went all the way up to 2060 last night. So very frustrating because I was in that and made a nice profit in it, and I made a bad mistake. Let's just show you that trade. I wanted to give it to your attention here just so you can see it right here. This is the trade we were looking at yesterday. We had you'll see the pullback yesterday right at the 61% retracement there at 1984. The low was 1983.80, and from there it went all the way to 2060. It went it went $90 an ounce. Boy, that's a heck of a move. The last time we had that back in July the 30th, we went from 1952 to 2014. We rallied $64 an ounce, and this time we rallied $90 an ounce. And where the top is, I don't know. If you're going to play gold from the short side, and you're welcome to do it. I do it all the time. If I find a nice short-term pattern, and I'll look at a 15-minute chart, and that'll tell me what my risk is, because I'm not going to risk more than $5 in the gold market. I mean, you're talking about a market that's really moving along pretty good. So we'll see here. Now, silver did make a new high, Marshall. Silver made 27 cents, at least it says on my made $27 an ounce. So that is a new high. Unless you're talking about early this morning, and that I'm not sure, so I can't check the prices yet, but I will shortly. But that's what I'm watching here. Now, platinum is lagging. We've only got up to 980 in the platinum. That's rallied about just about $80 back. It's about the 78% level, so it's a little bit there, but not many people are interested in platinum, and the open interest in platinum is very, very small compared to the open interest that we have in the gold and the silver. So those are the ones that I'm looking at. The one you have to pay close attention to, in my opinion, is that U.S. dollar index, because we had a really strong two-day rally up to 94, and we're back near those lows. I saw that dollar index at 92.80 just a little while ago, and if we close below 92.50, that's going to be a really significant break. That means there was just a two-day rally coming off a 1.618 expansion, and if it breaks that, wow, that's really negative. And we're trading right at the 78% level in the euro as we speak. So I think it's important to remind ourselves that that's what we're looking at. So keep a close eye on that. Now, we had a sell-off in bonds. They backed off at just about a point and a half. Well, just not quite. Almost a little more than a point. And that's the one that we did come back, but we had strong resistance up there in those bonds. So far, that is held. So we'll be able to see that. Duffy's saying that the gold to silver ratio is at a 100-year historical high. I wasn't there on the first one, but I'm here on the second one. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I have one more comment about the gold. I've posted a picture of the coin that we talked about yesterday. It is, I believe, the most valuable coin in the world. There's only 8 of them. I think there are only 20 that were actually made. It's a 1703 dollar. It's Isaac Newton designed it. He was the first chancellor of the Exchequer of the UK, and this coin sells for about $5 million in MS60, which is the highest grade, one of the higher grades that you can get. But there's only 8 of them in existence as far as I know. I have actually held that coin in my hand. And in fact, I had it in my pocket when I went to the bank. But it is really an incredible thing. It weighs a little bit more than an ounce. If you'll notice the Vigo, that was the name of the mine that they got the gold from in Spain. Now, I happen to be from Vigo County, Indiana, which is where Terre Haute is. So it means a lot. Anyway, let's take a look at one of the markets that's made a number that is really important, and I think you should pay very close attention to this one because we've been looking at this for a very long time, and we hit it this morning, folks, right on the money. The 61% retracement on the crude oil September option came in at 43.56. The number was 43.52. We're trading a little bit below that right now. If we close above that 43.52 level, I believe that would be bullish, but we did fill the gap up in here. We're up against this real strong resistance, so pay attention. It's not for the weak of heart, but you'll have to pay a close attention to it as we look around and see the stuff moving around. So that's one that we want to pay close attention to. Shane will be our guest here at the break, but I wanted to cover a couple other charts that I think are important from a trading perspective. If you'll get up here just a second here. We'll do this later. I'll update this one just for the heck of it. This is for the 24/7. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Larry, you hit the wrong button. Let's get up here and take a look at this is the soybean oil. We had a short sale in this at 31.55. We're now trading at 30.95. The first profit objective on that would be 30.30, which is $900. That's a perfect ABCD, just right at the just near the 50% level. But right now, you would lower your stop down on this, so you're only risking $90. So that's a really good risk reward ratio on that. So keep that working if you're watching it, because it's a pretty good thing to look at it. So we'll see. I don't know what you mean, 27.30. I don't know what those numbers mean, Marshall. I'm sorry. I'm not grasping it, but that's not unusual, Marshall. I don't grasp a lot, so I do one thing at a time, as Curly said in the movie City Slickers. Okay. I have another chart that I wanted to share with you that was brought to our attention by Mr. Rich Anderson, and we'll get this up here. This is actually not a chart, but this is just to shows you this is what's happening with the stock market, folks, that almost all of this stuff is going short time. This is not only the amount of publicly traded stocks shrinking, the amount of time investors are holding on to them has also dwindled, according to Reuters. Gone are the days of the buy and hold investing for the long term. The average holding period for U.S. shares was 5.5 months in June. That's the shortest duration since just after the financial crisis of 2010. Just 8 months ago, the average holding period was 8.5 months. Now, part of that will probably be related to algorithmic trading, which is a big deal because, these people, they trade for a 30-second window. So that's it. And not all of them are going to be profitable. That's a thing you got to remember. You're the good part about this business, folks, you've got just as good a chance as everybody else if you find something that's simple that works. And it's not going to work all the time. If you can be right, like half the time, you're probably going to make money if you watch your losses. Play defense and make sure you don't risk too much. Let's take a quick look here since we're getting ready to see the market open. I want to see, we'll probably have one of those big openings because I guess we've got, what do we got here? We got the Dow is basically up a tiny bit at S&P. NASDAQ is down a tiny bit. Now it's about unchanged. So all of that looks, pretty much normal. So we'll watch that. Now the bonds, we had that number up there in the bonds, and it stopped right at it, folks. We got to 83.03. The number we were looking at, of course, was 82.28, and so it went 5 ticks above it. Now we're trading a full handle below it. So that would be the first objective in that one. So watch that. That's there's a possibility, and I have to take my hats off to the Fed, that we could be looking at negative interest rates. And frankly, if that happens, I think you'll just have to say, yep, that's the way it's going to be and move on to the next one. But to me, that's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in all of the financial stuff that I've looked at over the years. And I will not be a believer in it, and I'll let them do their own thing. I know it's worked, supposedly worked in other countries, but the history will tell us whether that's going to be true or not. And I'm not sure how long that'll take to do that, but pay attention. Someone's asked a question about Bill Meridian's chart, where he said that he thought gold was topping, and he might be right. These are the charts he was looking at. You'll see here they were supposed to be topping here in early August, and here we are. August the 5th, and we are still going up. And remember, these cycles can be, because they're long-term cycles, they can be a week or two off. We have had a vertical move. I don't think there's any question by looking at that gold chart that you're looking at a market that's in a flagpole formation. But when it turns, you'll have to wait and see. If you're looking at it on a short-term basis, just bring this up here and get this up and say, here's what we're looking at today for the, hold on, we'll get this up here so we can see it. Here's the prediction, a short term. Now, remember, this is for the day. We should be bottoming in here in gold around 945. Now, after about 10:15 or 10:30 and gold is still going down, that would be very, very bearish if it's doing that. That means gold would have to be getting below that 27.35 level. And then it would have a 20.35 level. So that's it. I had silver on my mind when I said gold. So that's neither here nor there. Someone asked a question about testing the validity of silver coins or gold coins. Folks, if you've ever been to the Far East in either Morocco or Lebanon or Saudi Arabia, any of those places, and been to the outdoor markets, the gold traders there, they have it's very simple. They have a little marble stand there with a little thing that looks like a little tall tower. Looks pretty much, and then they put the coin on top of that, and then they take a gold hammer or a silver hammer and they tap the coin, and by the ring of that silver or the ring of the gold, they can tell you the assay quality of that within 1%. I mean, it's totally unbelievable that all these years it still works that way. And that's why if you find something like titanium that is covered with gold, and you did that test, that will ring differently, and you would know that. But it has a beautiful. In fact, you could go online. I'm sure it's online, and just see how they assay it over there, and you'll be able to see. You can do it yourself. And all you have to do is put the silver coin on your knuckle and take another silver coin and tap it. And it's got a beautiful ring, and the silver is a different ring than gold. It's so that's the way I remember.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we have the Shane Man on the line here from Florida. But, Shane, we've got a caller in from Minneapolis. Let's handle this first. Damon, what can we do for you?
Yeah, so I was looking at I got about $15,000. I've been doing some option trading with paper trading right now. So I didn't know if I wanted to go all in with the 15,000, or should I do a piece of it as an investment, and then do maybe some trading. Not sure what to do with the 15,000 right now.
I have the answer for you, my friend. I'm going to give you my address and send me a check. Listen, Damon, you're trying to go into the most dangerous and the most highly sophisticated of all areas of the market, which is options. What I suggest you do is to take a course on options. It's a great way to do it. If you learn how to sell options, that's the way to do it. But don't put any money into it, especially not $15,000, because you're a babe in the woods, my friend, and they will take you to the cleaner. So don't do that. Listen to the show that they have here on Think or Swim. I believe they have an options section. I'm not sure what time it comes on, but listen to that. But don't no money. Promise me that, okay?
I promise you. Yeah.
You promise. Okay. Learn to do what you do.
Do the courses. So you're telling me to do the courses? Follow that?
Do the courses and paper trade till you know what the heck you're doing. Then you got a chance.
Gotcha.
Other than that, you have no chance. You'd have more chance day trading than you would have trading the options markets, in my opinion. Okay?
Gotcha. Now, what about the investment piece? Is there maybe a piece that maybe I can buy, probably do like some kind of portfolio or something with indexes or something?
No. Look, stick with the options. Learn how to do those. You're trying to jump around too much, my friend, and you don't want to do that. Okay. So just stick with the options. Are great. That's the way to do it. But if you learn how to do it, you'll be far better off. You learn how to be an option seller, okay?
Gotcha. Okay. No money in. Okay, Larry. Thank you so much.
All right. And if you need my address, let me know. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Yep. Bye.
Okay. Now we have Mr. Shane on the line. Are you there, my friend?
I'm here, Larry. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're spot on. You've got the mic. I have one question for you. How are we looking as far as the coronavirus? Is it doing about the same thing?
Well, I have some great charts for you. We
Fire
can go over
away.
that to start out with. First of all, I'd like to say that was great advice you gave Mr. Damon there on taking that options course, and to definitely focus on. I think being an options seller, if you're using spreads, is not a bad way to go for beginners for sure. Okay, so I got a chart for you guys. This is a cool one. This is the biweekly change in the number of cases. So everybody's talking about how bad the United States is, right? Well, let's look at the world. Let's look at the real data for ourselves, and you guys can decide. This is just CDC. I'm just reporting on the data here. This is the real stuff coming at you here. So these countries highlighted in different colors represent the percent changes. Okay, so if it's blue, that means it's getting better. If it's red, it means it's getting worse. Take a look at the United States. We're more on the neutral to negative side compared to the rest of the world. But there are a lot of other countries that are having huge flare-ups, okay? So I'm going to go through these right now. The Bahamas, 479%. Cuba, 367. Guyana, 193%. Mexico is up. Iceland, Norway, France, Spain, Morocco, Libya, Niger, Chad, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Syria, China. China is spiking severely, guys. Japan is spiking 142%. Papua New Guinea, 444%. Australia, 72%. Australia is on a stage 4. So when we look at the whole world, there are cases surging, but it's not here. It's everywhere else in the world. This is a biweekly change. So this was important. And then the total confirmed cases I want to talk about this too, because you see the United States has 473 deaths per million, but that number is skewed because we're doing more tests. So I just wanted to talk about that because that's really important, because the more people you test, obviously if you tested 0 people, that number would be 0, right? So the more people you test, if you put that number in terms of tests, deaths per million per number of tests, we're actually pretty low. So just wanted to start out with that, but the rest of the world is definitely experiencing some issues. Excuse me, there I got the wrong presentation. Okay, so this is the outbreak in the country. And I spoke before about the fact that we're really not that far above the expected excessive death line, so we're kind of approaching that now. And if I go to a couple more graphs here, first of all, this is the number of tests in the United States. We are surging. Okay, we're the highest country that tests the most people anywhere in the world. So we would expect to see more tests. But this is an encouraging graph here. This is the new cases by day. So believe it or not, if you listen to the media, you would not know this, but we're actually starting to roll over now. And this is in absolute terms. This is not even in terms of per test. This is in absolute terms, so that's good. That's really good. Okay, so that's like absolute numbers. Look at this one, the biweekly change in confirmed COVID cases. Look at the United States plunging. Again, you watch the media, you're not going to see this. This is straight from the CDC, guys. I'm getting this from the CDC. We are not doing that bad compared to the rest of the world. So don't believe, if you hear the news tell you that, that's not true. I'm showing you the statistics right here from the CDC. Okay. This is the one that I plot here, which is the number of new cases per unit of per test. So when you control for the test, so we had a peak on July the 12th and of 8.8% positive. We're currently testing around 8.1% positive. The peak back in April was 21.5. So this is good news. It's suggesting that we may have had a second surge here, but it may have already peaked. And I think it has. When you look at the total deaths, the death counts or the cases rolling over too, then that's suggesting that we are. And even the death count, now this death count here looks very similar to my graph here with the number of cases per test. But remember, deaths are a lagging indicator because it takes people a while to get sick and then go to the hospital and then they eventually die. So this one should be rolling over with the number of new cases also rolling over. So again, this is the number of new cases. So I think the deaths will start to roll over too. So those are lagging indicators. So just wanted to give you guys that intro on Corona. I think this is good news for the United States, and I think that what I presented to you is accurate. Fair. I think it's definitely a balanced view, an accurate view. All right, so very quickly, just S&P 500. Fear and greed index, we are seeing some very high levels here. We're seeing a level of 68, which is a greed factor here. This is relatively high. The highest we've seen since this rally came off those March lows. It's not as high as the peak that we saw in beginning of the year or right before the beginning of the year. And this was the peak and this was the low. We're up right here to these levels, but we're definitely up into this upper range into here. So from a contrarian standpoint, that's bearish.
Hey, we have to pay a few bills and stay
Sure.
with us. We'll be right back with Shane Spollian, thewolftrader.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Shane Smolian, the Wolf Trader. Go ahead, my friend.
Talk about gold, Larry. We just closed out our upside position on gold this morning. 2055.80 was the closeout on that, and the reason why is I track the dollar juice intraday on the gold, and then I also track the RSI. I track RSI. I got a new indicator I'm using. It's a system called Best RSI, and what it does is it optimizes the RSI values for a given region of time. So each symbol, depending on if it's trending or if it's sideways, it has different levels that the RSI doesn't like. And for gold right now, 96 seems to be the level that's turning it. This is an RSI of 5. So if you're at home, you can try this out too. This is just a simple RSI of a period of 5. And right now, gold, the sensitivity on gold is 96 is trying to turn it on this, the behavior on this recent uptrend. So it hit 95 this morning. I felt pretty good about that. We had a really good run there. And I think that for now, it's definitely, I mean, tomorrow is one of the worst days of the week for gold, for the metals. So I figured that was a good time to close that out. It was a really nice run. That was a big fish. I mean, that was a big move that we caught there. This is the dollar juice. It's a new indicator that I'm using with the dollar. This is intraday. And, it's been tracking this gold beautifully. And it still has gold in a buy. But when I saw that RSI this morning pushing to 96, I figured that was it for the gold, at least on the short term. And then silver too, it was approaching its RSI peak. Silver tends to turn around 91 on this uptrend, so that position's out too. So those metals are, I think, for the short term now, we could be seeing a high. And I know that your friend Bill Meridian was talking about a possible top in the metals, and it's possible into here, especially if the dollar does start to come off those lows. And turn higher. So at least on the short term now, I think I'm not short on metals, but I think that's a good place to be covering that upside in my opinion. So here's the S&P. This is the dollar juice. Again, this is the 4-hour. For those of you who follow automated trade or mechanical trading systems, you have your in sample and your out of samples. So for everything from this point forward, this is out of sample. So in other words, this is fully automated in terms of the signals generated. I don't mess with this. It's optimized up to this point, and then this is how it's been performing out of sample. It's been beautiful. I'm still looking and observing this. This is a relatively new system, but it is in a sell right now on the S&P. We are coming across the most negative one of the most negative parts of the month. And if you look at the market going up, you wouldn't think it, but we are trying to give this a shot here at a downside, but it's definitely still trying to go up. But this is in a sell still on this intraday. So as long as that's in a sell, I think it still has a chance to turn down. We will see. But Larry, as you know, this bull has been just extremely stubborn. And every time we've tried to short this thing, it's been tough. This is the S&P. Now, this is the larger term graph here. So there's a lot going on here. But the first thing I want to show you is that the Fed juice here is still climbing. I did try to take an downside advantage against the Fed juice yesterday, simply because there's so much evidence mounting in terms of the Astro and the cycles. The RSI is pushing up to 80. That I think there's a chance here. And then with that negative Astro coming in, I think there's a chance here that we could have some type of a pullback. Now, whether that turns into something bigger or not, we will see. But I try to come at this in little bits and pieces on the short side, just because you have to really respect this bull. It's very powerful, and we really try to pick and choose the entries that we take. So down here on the bottom right, you can see these are statistics that we post for subscribers. Now, this changes every week. But for this week, these are the strongest days of the week. Monday is the absolute strongest day. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's greater than 90% up right now. So Monday is really the strongest day of the week. Yesterday was the second weakest day. Today is relatively neutral. Tomorrow is the weakest day of the week. So, possibly tomorrow we could get some type of a pullback if this market wants to. I mean, it doesn't seem to want to ever go down, but I'm trying to give opportunities at a short, because if this thing ever does turn, it will be sudden, and I'm trying to give us a chance to get some kind of a short opportunity into there. But then Friday is the second strongest day of the week. So, I think we've got a very small window here. And obviously, and the one thing that I would say is that the Fed juice is still rising. So, this is, it's a tough call on the short side for sure. The RSI, just so you guys know, if you want to follow this at home right now, the RSI for the S&P, typically what's turning this RSI is an RSI 5 of about 66. So you guys can track, like I say, you can track this at home. Typically, if it's above 66, you start to see downside pressure. This is across the last month of time. So every time that RSI gets above 66, it tends to give short-term turns. Below 66, it tends to give upside pressure to the S&P. So right now it's at 80, so it's giving downside pressure. We'll see if it plays itself out, but we've got a chance here. I think the odds are probably better here to the downside, and that's why I try to give us a chance here at some type of a short. But that bull is a stubborn bull. This is the solar cycle here. Go ahead, Larry.
No, say you're not going to get an argument from me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to really come at this in very small bits and pieces, and just kind of look at it that way and take it day by day. This is the solar cycle. So this is just one of the cycles we track. These are the seasonals, but we're definitely in a negative seasonal pattern here. So there's enough to make an argument here for some type of a short, but it's tough going on the short side. If this market rallies through August, I said this, if this market rallies through August, it's gonna probably soar to the upside in the coming months after this, because this is a relatively negative month. And you pointed out in your show that August and September are two of the most negative months for the S&P 500. So, we'll just have to see what happens. The dollar is still going down. So you can see here, this is the U.S. dollar. This is my trending indicator here. One of my trending indicators here is still showing us in the downtrend. It never really took the bait for that little hop up there. It still says it's heading lower, but that doesn't mean it can't bottom here. We are seeing these levels in the dollar, these historic low values. We haven't seen these in over a decade in terms of the RSI. So, we have to watch that and respect the fact that it could reverse, but so far, I don't see it turning just quite yet on that trending indicator. So, but if it does turn, if the dollar, let's say the dollar does turn up, the metals could take a big hit and the S&P could take a big hit too. So, This is something to watch. And that dollar juice, I use that on that intraday to track the S&P and gold. But the dollar is definitely a player here. The dollar, along with the Fed juice, is a very big factor in this S&P. It's what I call the three-headed monster. You have the Astro and the seasonals, you have the Fed, and then you have the dollar. So all three of these really control the S&P 500, at least from the technical side of things. So long term, the S&P still looking good.
Now let's take a break, and we'll be right back with you, my friend. Shane Smolian, thewolftrader.com. We'll be right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, bam, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us, and Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Bam!
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Shane Smolian, thewolftrader.com. Shane, we have a question from one of our listeners. Do you follow any of the cryptocurrency or blockchain coins and tokens that are out there?
Newsletter just for that. We actually have 6 newsletters now. This is an older slide. We have newsletters on the S&P 500, metals, energy, currencies, and cryptocurrencies. Now, the cryptos are a little tougher to follow. Bitcoin it's traded on the CME, but the other ones, I do download that data by hand. So I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple and Litecoin that I follow. The Bitcoin does have a Fed use that I post daily on that. I also have a newsletter I started this month called a Uranian astrology newsletter, and there was very strong interest for that right away when I posted that. A bunch of people signed up for that, and that's strictly astrology. If you want to just talk about world events, astrology, that's the newsletter for you. Because the S&P newsletter was getting getting too large. It was getting to be like 50 pages with all the Astro stuff. So I separated it. I still do talk about the cycles in the S&P, but the details really go into that Uranian letter. And, we're experiencing a transit right now in the world that we haven't seen in 4,000 years. The Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunction. You got to go back to the 12th dynasty of Egypt. And that was also the birth of Babylon, the last time that happened. And this is really an important aspect that's affecting the world. So I talk about that in the newsletter. And then I'm going to be posting a couple videos a week. And it's really just informative, casual, kind of going through the astrology of it. If you want to focus just on the markets, then these newsletters are really the way to go. And I post all different types of information, statistical information. I post astrological information. I post cycles, seasonals. So there's a lot of stuff there, and I do post a daily update. It's like a slide, or I'll put a few charts. So like for the metals, I'll put, copper, gold, and silver. I'll put the charts there with the Fed use. Energy, I put natural gas and oil. Currencies, I put the pound and the euro, and then the crypto right now, Bitcoin is the one that I update daily. So,
wow, that's great. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us, my friend. We'll have you on again soon.
My pleasure.
God bless.
Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you all tomorrow, folks. May God bless.